Hello, here we're going to be looking at today our week 21 homework, and we're going to take a look at page 3 here. Now, we did 1, 2, and 3 together in class. If you check back through your notes, you may already have these filled out, or if you did it on a separate page, you may see that there. But I know we've still been having a lot of difficulties with factoring when A is not 1. So what we're going to do here is we'll go through a couple of these different examples and see if we can get some more additional piece together our ability to solve these independently, solve these on our own. All right, now take a look at some more, a little bit more difficult. That way you can attempt some of the ones on our own with more ease. Okay, so let's go down here and let's take a look at we'll do 13. Helping us stay organized. So we know we're trying to find factors of C, and that they add to the two, start to help track all of it. We've been calling this like an ACB chart because it takes our different numbers. So I need my factors of A, which is 9. I need my factors of C, which is a negative 32. And the combination we're looking for has to add up to a negative 28. And these ABC values are just coming from our ABC terms here. Now what we're looking to do is make our factors of 9, our factors of 32. We're going to be looking for the combination that adds up to give us a negative 28. So I'll go ahead and complete this list for us. Alright, now in our C column here, notice how we need a negative 32, which means I'm going to need one of the terms on each case to be a negative, right? It can't be both because two negatives would turn positive. So I usually denote this by putting a negative sign over top of our multiplication. Lets me know that one of them will be negative. Now, what we're looking to do is find out just one of this combination of another pair, and that way they turn into a negative. That's the puzzle we're trying to solve here. Now, it takes practice to get good at this, but in time, you will get better at being able to take a look at these and finding the correct combination a little bit quicker. Okay, so let me show us what it would look like to find a wrong combination, and then we'll go through and find a right combination. 1 and the 9, and maybe multiply it by this negative 2 and say a 16 here. All right, so this is me trying 1 times a 16. I'm going to see if that adds up with a 2 times a negative 9. And we'll see if it works. But this combination will not. I'll get a 16 minus 18. So what that tells me is that this particular combination is not the one that we are looking for. So we'll try again. Here's what it looks like to find the right combination. If I go 1 and 9, I'm going to use this 4 and the 8. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to take my 9 and multiply by a negative 4. And I'm going to take the 1 and multiply it by an 8. And I'm going to prove to us that this works. Alright, so we see the 9 times the negative 4 gave me a negative 36. The 1 times the 8 gives me an 8. Negative 36 plus 8 does take me to a negative 28. Now, we know we found our right combination. Here's how I will set it up. Our factors from our A column are going to tell us what needs to go in the front of our parentheses with x. I'm going to need a 1x and a 9x. Now, we've been working on distributing for quite a while. We know that when things are sitting in opposite parentheses, that they get multiplied. What that tells us here is if I need this 1 to be able to multiply by an 8, they have to be in opposite parentheses. This 1x needs to be opposite of this positive 8. And this 9 needs to be opposite of this negative 4. So here's our 9. It needs to be opposite of the negative 4. All right? And so that's how it works. That's what it looks like to go through and successfully navigate one of these problems. Now you can see from the length of the video, some of these take a while. Persevere and stay strong to determine your answer. So let's take a look at another one. We'll go here to number 20. All right, so let's get our table set up. I'm looking for numbers that multiply together to give me 15, numbers that multiply together to give me negative 9. When I combine those, that we get a negative 134. Now notice once again, this 9 has to be negative, so one of these numbers from each of these combinations also has to be negative. And now we go through and we try to find our combination. Now this is one where the numbers do get a little large, so we wouldn't quite expect to see one quite of this caliber on like a test per se when we were doing this without a calculator. But the same concept remains. We need to go through and find what we're looking for. But find these factors of A with our factors of C. But now, for a negative 134, I know I'm going to need a big number. So what that can inform us is I'm going to try to use this 3 and 5. There's no way I'm going to be able to multiply this 3 and 5 by either one of these combinations and get a number high enough that's going to get me to around a negative 134. So I can safely assume, right, and it might not be the case, but I can assume that we're not going to be using this 3 times 5. I'm going to check my 1 times 15 combinations first. So I'm looking to maybe get a big number, so I'm thinking maybe 15 times a negative 9, and I'll see where that takes us. 15 times a negative 9 takes me to a negative 135. Now when I add the 1 times the 1, we see that we do get our negative 134. So that's the combination that we need. So we'll be able to write out our final answer. All right, so my factors in the A column tell us what's going to go in the first. I need a 1x and a 15x. And then I just place them in the opposite parentheses. So 1 needs to be opposite of a 1. This 1x needs to be opposite of a positive 1. This 15 needs to be opposite of the negative 9. 15, it needs to be opposite of the negative 9. All right, and there we go for that. So we'll look at one more here for us. We'll look at one here like 15. Right now, remember how to set up our chart. It's ACB. Right, so I need numbers that multiply together to give me 9. Numbers that multiply together to give me 12. When I put them in combination with one another, that they add up to give us a 31 here. Right now, it's nice to start off with just a list here. In time, you'll get better at being able to just pull it out of your minds, thinking critically. But for us, as we're getting better and better, we'll want to create a list of factors to check. This one has a longer list, but they're all positive, which is going to be helpful for us. So we'll go through and try to find our combination. Keeping in mind that it takes a little bit of practice to get good at this here for us. Okay? So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can go through and find out. The 1 and 9, you try to determine what it is, and then here in a minute we'll see if it matches up with what I find. So the combination is this. 9 times a 3, and I need a 1 times a 4. Right, and here's why. Here's our proof. 9 times 3 plus the 1 times the 4. There we have our 31. All right, now let's get our answer set up. I know that a 1x and a 9x. Right, and the 1 needs to be opposite of a 4. So here's my 1x. I need to have my positive 4 over here. My 9, and we can see it's connected here with the 3, so my 9 needs to be opposite of the 3. And there we have it. Now remember to double check our answers. Process that we've been doing over and over again. This double check. Alright, so chart set up correctly. Frustrated when you're having a hard time finding the combination. Practice now.